of your wrongdoing. You are broken by
Oh, she baned him. Amidst the grave's demons. Pretty good. Is it the afternoon already? Yeah. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind of Mando. I'm your host, Armando Ortega. I hope everybody is doing incredible, fabulous, amazing. Let me just get something out of the way by stating there was supposed to. What the hell is this? Oh, wait, never mind. There was supposed to be this episode was supposed to come out earlier. The problem is that I've been upgrading my computer. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys. Peaches. There she is. She's a little girl. She looks evil. She's everybody's favorite cat. And I understand why, but yeah. Well, this episode was supposed to be out earlier. The problem is I've been upgrading my PC. Well, that's not the issue. Well, one of the issues is I just need to upgrade my hard drive, my internal hard drive. That's it. Because the one I have right now is only 500 gigs, and I'm trying to get something a little bit bigger. Because the thing that happens is when I record it like this through my software, it starts recording video, audio, everything like that, and it starts storing it in that hard drive. And the problem is, when I was doing this last time, I had about 1 gig left of free storage inside my hard drive. And because I thought I set it to save somewhere else, and it just stopped recording part of the way through. So I lost everything. So I thought I wasn't able to do it until God knows when, because of work and the schedule and everything. That is until today. Last night, my lady said that she didn't feel that great. I felt, but I went to bed, and this morning woke up feeling like crap, absolute crap. And my throat is still a little bad right now, which is why I've just been drinking tea all day. You see the steam is still hot. I've been drinking tea all day, which, is soothing my throat, making me feel a lot better. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego right now. I wish you guys can see it. Except if I keep this open, it'll be like hella bright. But yeah, so I'm just here doing it again. I do feel a lot better now, so I should be able to go to work tomorrow. And tomorrow's Friday anyway, so it's like I go in and then my weekend is here already. So yeah. Well, anyways, welcome back, everybody. I said this already, but still, I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to record this episode today. And I just want to let you guys know that this episode might be a different topic than what we usually cover here. I know we usually cover about like video games and, just how do you call it? Not celebrity gossip or incidents, but actual real life, this actually happens in our planet type of deals, Who do we cover? Lauren Pazienza. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's cover Lauren. I wasn't even going to cover her this time, but I just reminded myself. It's going to be real quick. I have how do you call it? Just straight up covered the hell out of this chick since how do you call it? Oh God, that is not a pleasing picture. Oh my God. Well, anyways, I have covered her a lot and everything, and every single time I cover her, I always say I'm gonna make a short little summary of what happened, and today is no exception. And this is gonna be the final update, hopefully, So anyways, Lauren Pazienza was this young 26-year-old woman in New York and everything. socialite. Her life revolved all around social media, posting pictures, everything about herself, yada yada, which, in itself isn't bad unless you just let it consume you, and that's just what your entire personality is. That can get really annoying and feeds into people's egos and self-censoredness and yada yada, all that stuff. Well, anyways, this girl grew up in a rich family, and I know there's a lot of like stereotypes and stigmas on kids who grew up in wealthy households, like being brats and not knowing how to take no for an answer because, they've always been given everything they've ever wanted. And she was actually no exception. She actually fit a lot of the stereotypes. That's exactly how she was. If you told her no, that's it. Kicking, screaming, throwing a tantrum like a 2-year-old because she is not used to saying no. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. And then I do blame the parents as well because it's like, this is how you raised your daughter. So you can't blame anybody but yourself. Well, anyways, what had happened was last year, I believe in March, Lauren Pazienza, she had a website on about her engagement with her fiance and everything, that counting down the days. And there was one day where her and her fiance were at a park in New York. And parks, they have closing hours, if none of you guys knew this. There's parks that have a time where nobody's supposed to be in there or around it because they closed, And just so happens that's exactly the case there. They were there at the park. It was getting late. It was closing time. So someone said, hey, guys, listen, the park's closing. You got to please just grab your stuff, start heading out, yada, yada. Normal people with self-respect would have been like, oh, okay, no problem. Thank you very much for letting us know. And they would proceed to get up, grab their stuff, and start heading out because it's closing time. Lauren got pissy, and she started throwing one of her famous tantrums. And she threw food at her fiance, and she started screaming and just started leaving, throwing like a huge-ass tantrum. Unfortunately, how do you call it? I think her name was 87, yeah. 87-year-old Barbara Custern, a vocal coach, was in the sidewalk, and she was, waiting for a ride and everything like that, when Lauren, while in her tantrum, started walking down the road. Lauren called her a female dog and pushed her. And when she pushed her, here goes Barbara falling back. This is an 87-year-old woman. Remember that. Keep that in mind. And Barbara, she was injured. Lauren didn't stop. Lauren actually kept walking for another block or two while still keeping Barbara in view, while other pedestrians saw Barbara on the floor. Somebody called 911. Lauren didn't even call 911 herself. She just kept going. And she stayed. She stayed around the area, kept looking back, and watched till medics showed up. Watched medics render aid to Miss Barbara and put her on the gurney and put her in the ambulance. Lauren stayed quiet. She stayed quiet. Didn't say it to anybody. 5 days later, it came to the unfortunate news that Barbara Custern had passed away due to her injuries, which is honestly... It sounds messed up, but I wouldn't have expected anything less. Like I said, she's 87 years old. It's like you could have been tough your entire life, but once you get to a certain point in your life, especially at that age, you can't take impacts like that anymore. It's like it just the possibility of death just amplifies. So let me turn that down a little bit. And sorry about the train noise in the outside. So there goes Barbara. She passes away because of her injuries, because of the injuries Lauren caused. Lauren then chooses that time to confess that it was her who caused Barbara Custern to pass away, gave her those injuries. But instead of turning herself into the police, Lauren decided it was best to go to her aunt's house and take apart her phone and hide it in her aunt's house, and then go to her parents' house in Long Island, I believe, and hide there for like 2 weeks. And it wasn't until law enforcement, because they were already looking for her, and it wasn't until law enforcement had to go to the front door themselves of the parents' house. And I'm not confirming or denying that the parents had some informative involvement in it. But for me, it seems like the parents were trying to delay the police as much as possible from turning Lauren in. And it turns out Lauren, I guess she just realized the jig was up. And she ended up just coming downstairs and turning herself into the police, who are already at their door. You know, if you had any actual moral compass, you would have just gone to the police department. Well, no, if you were just a decent human being, you wouldn't throw a tantrum because someone told you the park was closed and it was time to go. You know, but because of her bratty behavior and the upbringing of her parents, unfortunately, all this had to happen, and someone had to lose their life. Well, the reason I kept covering this is because the typical, well, she's rich. She comes from a rich household, a place that has a lot of money. And it was, you know, the whole belief system behind that was she will leave scot-free. Maybe some therapy, maybe some probation or whatever. But she is not going to ever serve time in a cell. And I understand why that's the case. I mean, hell, even fiction portrays that, just like the Kingpin in Marvel Comics. And so what had happened was it looked like to be that way initially, because once she was booked and everything, she had a $500,000 bail on her. Her parents came and bailed her out almost immediately, but I guess she was looked at as a flight risk after, given the fact that, you know, instead of turning herself in, she tried to hide her phone at her aunt's house and then tried to hide out at her parents' house. So they ended up revoking that and just going finding her and arresting her again. And she spent over a year in Rikers, just serving her time there, waiting for her day in court. And the thing was, she kept delaying stuff. She kept, like, they were trying to work a deal with her. Nah, I'm not taking that. I guess under the whole hopefulness of if she doesn't take the deal, somehow her lawyers will find a way to get her scot-free. Second time they gave the deal to her. Nah, not taking that. And when it seemed that it wasn't going her way, the lawyer tried to plead insanity. So now they had to go through this entire process and try and test her and try and see if she's actually crazy or something like that. And of course, she was not deemed insane. Sorry, my face got brighter. Well, anyways, now finally, after over a year, and remember the last video I did talking about Lauren and everything like that, I said, who knows what's going to happen to her, when it's going to happen to her, whatever. It wasn't till, like, I want to say shortly after, maybe like a day or two or something after I released that video, where it came to my attention that they finally released what happened to her. So what I'm reading right here, I'll post it up at per usual. Judge adds 6 months to 8-year prison sentence for a woman who fatally shoved beloved NYC vocal coach Barbara Gustern. Lauren Pazienza, the event planner who fatally shoved an 87-year-old Broadway vocal coach Barbara Gustern to the ground in a random 2002 attack, was officially sentenced to 8.5 years in prison Friday. Pazienza, and when was this released? This was written October 2nd, 2023, so yeah, shortly after. Pazienza had pleaded guilty to manslaughter in August in a plea deal. She finally took a plea deal. I'll touch on more of that in a bit. For 8 years in prison. The 6 months was added on Friday by Manhattan State Supreme Court Judge Felicia Menon, who, according to reports, said she was unconvinced that 28-year-old Pazienza had taken responsibility for her actions. Oh my God. So here's the thing. So originally, Pazienza was facing 25 years in prison. And how much is the guy going to be? Yeah, she was arrested right before she turned 27. And then right now she would be 28. She would be 28 now. Which means if she got sentenced to 25 years, being 28 now, that would mean that, what was it? It was 38, 40. I'm stupid at math. 53 years old. She'd be 53. I've done this math hella times, and I keep forgetting. 53 years old by the time she got out. And it would suck for her. I'm not saying suck morally. It would suck for her because imagine going to prison in your 20s. You haven't completed your 20s yet, you know? And then you won't see the light of day or, you know, freedom outside those walls until you're midway through your 50s. You're almost 60s. You're almost considered a senior citizen. Your life is just thrown away. That's insane. And the initial plea deals, I believe, were to reduce it by 10 years, which means she would have been released at 43, which is still not great, but it's not as bad as 53. At least you got 10 additional years of freedom, you know? And that's the last I heard. That was the last update from, you know, the plea deals. But I guess this plea deal they worked is she pleaded guilty and she would receive 8 years. And just honestly, yeah, she's crying. You can see that she's crying, but I don't, like, honestly, at this point, I don't think they're tears of remorse. I think it's tears of, oh no, I'm losing 8 years of my life, you know? Because, again, she was given a plea deal twice, 2 times. Both times she refused to take it. And then on top of that, they tried to plead insanity. That means they were getting desperate to make sure that she doesn't have to go inside of a cell. And then finally they go like, here, let's give you a third plea deal. And they said 8 years. 8, yeah, it's better, way better than 15. But it's just like, oh, why didn't I remember that? It says 28 year here, which means she won't be out till 36. Well, maybe 37 years old because of the half year. So, and yeah, that still sucks. That means you're almost 40 now. That means you're almost 40. I mean, like, you know, well, I mean, I guess 36 is still enough to do stuff that you're supposed to do in your 30s. But what won't ever go away is this woman solely because she was a brat, spoiled, obnoxious, and nobody liked her, not even her former roommates or classmates. She killed an 87-year-old vocal coach, you know, and it took this long for justice to be brought. Yeah, no, but at least she got 8 years, and I guess like that was a curveball that the judge was like, yeah, no, I don't think she took responsibility for her actions. So here's an extra 6 months. You should have just made it an extra year, to be honest. But you know, I guess she did what she could. So yeah. But yeah. So that's the update on Lauren Pazienza. And you know what? Let me look this up. I'm gonna look up my because all this just came to my mind right now. I had something completely different to look at. Oh my god, what is happening here? So that's the form two. All right. Sorry you guys heard that. So basically there's this woman. I don't know if it's like, maybe it's just, you know, but there's this woman, I'm posting it up on the screen, I'll read along with you guys, who straight up, I guess, try to advocate for Lauren, be like, oh, you know, you guys are like misrepresenting whatever. And it's just, hey, you know, you're probably wrong. Well, anyways, when I first made the video of Lauren, which was about over a year ago, on the March 29th, 2022, this woman commented on my video, and she wrote this: Lauren is 26 and absolutely gorgeous. No, that's not even debatable at this point. That's just a fact. She's not. She's being persecuted because of her socioeconomic status. There's a lot of rich people in this world. No one really cares. Are you okay, Kiwi? Damn. I know. It's outrageous that Lauren is even being charged. This was an 87-year-old woman who lost her balance. Lauren reached out to help brace her fall. Unfortunately, this kind of act was misinterpreted as a shove. Lauren was raised in Port Jefferson, graduated from FIT. What is that? I guess she tried to write bachelorette or something, but what the hell is that? Yeah, she did try to write Bachelorette. And worked for this exclusive Roach Boys. Lauren is only 26, a registered Democrat, and is extremely progressive. She is also engaged to an Asian. Yeah, her fiance was Indian. I don't know why that's relevant, though. Why would she attack an old lady without provocation? Is she saying that Barbara provoked her? Probably no. This is all a misunderstanding that started when Lauren shouted "ditch" in an attempt to warn the old woman she was stepping in a sidewalk pothole. No, especially considering the fact that there were witnesses that all said the exact opposite, or another way to say it, who all said the same exact thing I say. So yeah, as a concerned citizen, Lauren did not remain on scene to ensure that an ambulance arrived. Or did remain on scene. Well, technically, she did remain in the area, but not exactly where it happened. She didn't remain on the scene. She remained just outside of it, Shortly after the incident, Lauren had an altercation and breakup with her fiance after, she confessed that she's the reason she killed Barbara's dead. Lauren was so distraught that she deleted her social media, any reminder of her fiance, and retreated to her parents' home for recovery time. Finally, Lauren turned herself into the police pronto as requested. We ended up finding out now that's not exactly it. She deleted her social media because she was running away. She was trying to go into hiding, and people, the age of the internet, people are going to come after you, especially if you do something crap like this. And, again, her fiance cut it off because, your fiance just killed a woman and kept it quiet this entire time. And finally, Lauren turned herself into the police pronto as requested. She turned herself into the police when they were already at her door trying to find her. So, no. Lauren has been prosecuted for socioeconomic status. You already said that. It's outrageous that Lauren is even being charged. This was an 87-year-old woman who lost her balance. And, she just rewrote the entire thing again. Finally, I'd like to add that it is obviously not a hate crime and that Lauren has denounced Trump many times since his election. Again, no relevancy, but like I said, this woman commented on my video defending Lauren, and honestly, I knew it wasn't, I knew it wasn't like gonna be anything that she was going to be proven right for. Lauren is a terrible person. She's a terrible woman, and who knows, 8.5 years behind those walls might change her outlook in life, might change everything. But yes, no, she had absolutely zero remorse for what she did. And then she commented basically the same thing on my third update episode, which was November 2nd, 2022. I'll keep these on the top so you guys can check them out if you want. And basically I replied, because like I said, she just turned herself in. Except the end, I like it here. Lauren denounced Trump oodles and oodles of times since the election campaign. Okay, so I basically reply, we've been through this already in my first video about her. There's overwhelming evidence showing that her self-centered, aggressive demeanor and action caused Barbara to fall, hit her head, and pass 5 days later. Keep defending her, it's your right, but we all know where this case is going. She rejected a plea deal twice, meaning now that when trial begins and she's convicted, she'll serve her 25 years and won't see the free world until she's in her 50s. I can't even begin to imagine going to prison at such a young age and not seeing it again until you're almost elderly. And Lauren knows that. Why else would they plea mental instability? And she goes, I'll touch a base with you after the trial. If there is one, you'll be surprised at what money can buy. And there you go. People knowing that, hey, if you have status and you have money, things can work in your favor. Anyways, her bail was revoked after it was already paid, like I said. And so far, money isn't keeping her out of Rikers. And the fact that the 2 plea deals had to be made and now a psych plea has been made, looks like money isn't working out so far. Sorry, I'm not reading well. And here's Pellis Extranas. Sounds Latin. This guy is awesome. Money is not helping her this time. Damn right, Pellis Extranas. Thank you. sir. Well, anyways, this woman's name, Autumn Fragrance 6326. Sounds like a generic name, but who knows? Autumn Fragrance 6326. If you happen to stumble upon this, and I'm gonna make it apparent that this is who I'm talking about right now on this episode. When are you gonna when are you gonna touch base again with me? Lauren's been convicted, and she's serving 8.5 years. She's going to prison, not house arrest, not in house arrest in who knows, the Poconos or something like that. She is going to prison for 8.5 years. She will be out when she's 36, maybe 37. So what's going on? What's gonna happen? It's like money didn't help her here. Yeah, I'm positive she begged for the third plea. I'm positive because I mean, like, dude, you claimed like mental instability, like being psychotic or whatever, and instead of being like, okay, well, now you're going to an asylum because you're crazy, it was shown that she wasn't crazy. She was in her right mind. She was just being a brat, and her brat attitude caused the death of an 87-year-old vocal coach, Barbara Gustard. So now she's like, oh no, this is real. I'm actually going to prison. I'm positive she begged for that third plea deal. So you know what? At this day, justice has been served. 8.5 years at the very least. It's something. Again, Autumn Fragrance 6326. Come at me, because I want to see how you justify her going to prison. You know, I'll be waiting. If you don't, then whatever. I really don't care. So yeah, there's the news for Lauren Pazienza. So on to the topics I was gonna actually talk about now and everything. The reason this episode's gonna be taking a little bit different turn is this. I know in today's times, especially now where podcasts just keep popping up left and right, I mean, I'm no exception. They talk about the same things, you know, the same topics, the same viral videos. And I'm not saying I'm an exception. What I am saying is I try and focus on things that have an impact to the general public, or on things that are supposed to have an impact on the general public, but there's people who have to get outed as liars. I've talked about people trying to make police look like, you know, pieces of crap, people who are racist, these messed up things. And then when I go and I see everything and the full story comes out, I break it down being like, hey, this is why the people saying this stuff don't have a leg to stand on. But at the same time, I turn around and be like, yeah, police do have tendencies to abuse their power, be bullies, etc., etc. So I see both sides. I also talk about people who make bad financial decisions. I have people who make bad moral decisions. I've talked about people who want to be victims, but in reality are the evil, bullying people that they are. And I also talked about Bukele, the Salvadorian president, you know? And to be honest, I'm not entirely opposed to his way of doing things, because God knows the state of California right now especially is insane. And the only reason things aren't getting better, in fact they're getting worse, is because people are too preoccupied. People with authority and positions of power and authority are too preoccupied with the feelings of people rather than preoccupied with their safety. You know what I mean? Think about it. So in San Francisco, just a quick story. In San Francisco, a man recently got in trouble with authorities up there because he went out doing his own vigilante stuff, but he had himself a mask and a Berna, which is a non-lethal or less than lethal device and everything. And he went around and he found people who were trying to rob people, who were breaking into cars, and he stopped them. Because that's a huge problem that's happening in San Francisco right now. People's cars are getting broken into. People are getting robbed in broad daylight. And he was out there and he was helping the public. He was helping the everyday citizens stay safe and fight back against those who are just relying on the cooperation through fear of everyday citizens of the city. He went out there and he fought back, and he yielded positive results, negative for the people causing harm, but positive for everybody else. And instead of being like, oh man, this guy's standing up, the city was like, no, we got to cuff you now, and now we got to process you, yada yada. And then when the news went out there and was straight up interviewing people are like, I don't get why they did that to him. He's just trying to help people. So, you know why? Because people are preoccupied with the feelings instead of the safety of the people they're supposed to be protecting. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. It's a weird side note that I did too. Well, anyways, like I said, there's times where I want to talk about things that are mainstream or have been mainstream because I want to give my own 2 cents in. And I'm sure you guys know where this is going here. Let me change the music real quick. I like this, but I need to like... Okay, let me close this. Close this window. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So, take my camera off as well. Oh yeah, I have body cam. I take it to work like every day, and I charge it right here and stuff. And it's I've seen a lot of funny stuff. Well, anyways, so what I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about situations that have been happening in the dating scene, modern dating scene, modern day dating between modern day women and modern day men and everything. Traditionally, dating was supposed to be, well, at least how I was raised, is you as a man, if you show interest in a woman, talk to her, make her feel comfortable, ask her out, and when you take her out, make sure you get her a gift, make sure you go somewhere nice, make sure you treat her with respect, and most importantly, make sure you pay for absolutely everything. Don't ever let her reach for her wallet. So growing up, that's the mentality I've had. And I'm not going to lie, yeah, I still have that mentality. So, but the thing is, with the time and the things I've experienced, even though I don't think that mentality is inherently bad, I also know that the importance of knowing when you're being just taken advantage of, and unfortunately not everybody can see that or chooses not to see it, but it happens, and it happens a lot to the guys. And I don't want to be like, that's stupid. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just saying that with these latest 2-3 videos that I'm about to show you right now, it was very, very apparent that there's a problem with modern day women, not all of them, but modern day women here in the United States, expecting to be given literally every single thing that they want, that they desire, without ever reciprocating anything, without ever putting any work into a potential long-lasting relationship. So let's just go right into the first video.
Yeah, so today I linked with this nigga I met a few weeks ago out with my friends. This nigga been texting me for weeks talking to himself. Why I didn't block him, bitch, I don't know.
See, at this point I want to interject real quick. She said this dude's been hitting her up. She hasn't been replying because she herself said he spent this amount of time just talking to herself, meaning that he kept messaging her and messaging her and messaging her and messaging her without her ever responding. And I'm sure she read it. Especially on Facebook and well, any form of social media, direct messaging section, you see when the person reads your messages. So she just left them on read. Dude. And this is when this dudes like this need to just grab a hint. If she's not getting back to you after at least the second time, because you gotta understand, people get busy and everything, but after the second time, the person doesn't get back to you, that's it. Cut it. That's it. Done. Donezo. It's like, yeah, they may look attractive in your eyes. Yeah, they may be like, oh, damn, let's see where we can go with this, and probably get down and freaky. But at the end of the day, this person's self-centered. They don't want to give you the light of day ever. And these are the same people that will go around and be like, no means no. All right. Would you like to go out? No. Okay. And then be like, why don't guys ever try anymore? Why don't they try and pursue us anymore? I don't understand. You can never win. So, like, have more respect for yourself, dude.
But today I was bored and I had time, so he texted me like, can we meet for drinks? And I'm like, yeah, meet me here. They got the best oysters in Atlanta, like, hands down. So I'm like, yes, I can get some content. Come on.
This dude was like, hey, can I take you out for a drink? She's like, yeah, meet me down here. First, it's the dude who's asking you out. The dude's going to treat you where he's going to treat you. But two, he said, let's grab a drink. He didn't say, hey, let's go eat. Let's go grab a drink, which I don't think is a bad idea, mainly because of this. You ask somebody that you're interested in, that you feel that you hopefully, or yeah, you feel like you do, or you hopefully feel like there is potential for you guys to grow into something a little more serious and everything. Drinks at a bar or a coffee shop or whatever, something really small, I feel is probably one of the safest, most best and intimate dates. Reason being so is if you go with somebody, you ask somebody out and they say, yeah, sure. And you're like, let's go grab a coffee. Let's go to the bar. I'll buy you a drink, yada, yada. You go there for each other's company. Yeah, the environment can play a good role too, but you go there mainly for each other's company. If you guys are there and you guys talk and you guys like are on the same wavelength, if you guys are vibing and everything, cool. Let's start progressing to something more. Let's keep this going. See if we are continue to be compatible. If you're not, then it's like, okay, well, no hard feelings. No hard feelings. It's not going to work between us. We're just not compatible. And that's it. In the end of the day, if the dude is still with the very traditional values of I'm paying for everything, he loses a few bucks. Yeah, but that's it. That's it. No harm done. No harm, no foul. That's why I feel like getting drinks at a coffee shop or a bar or doing something very small is far better than actually having or expecting to go out at a 5-star restaurant that, you know, the person who is acted out, mainly the woman, is not going to put a single dime towards.
It's so good.
So when I first did this video the other day, I actually had to drink beer because the sound of her just it's like, dude, that's disgusting. that is very, very off-putting. It's like, oh, but Mando, in Japan, slurping your food is a sign of respect towards the chef's cooking abilities. This ain't Japan, fool. These are the States. This is Atlanta, Georgia. But then again, it's Atlanta, Georgia, so what did I expect?
Y'all, when the fourth one came out.
Four? That is 12 oysters per plate. She ordered 4 of those mofos. 4 of them. That's, oh my God, gluttony, bro. Gluttony. And here's the thing, I could say it because I've been part of it. But in the end of the day, it's just like, for me personally, I've been making changes on myself to get better, which means I have been controlling what I've been eating. And just looking at this now, for how long as I've been doing it, it's 48 oysters? You down? And I doubt you gave that to anybody. This was all you. This is because the plates are being handed to you. And you're the one, once you're done, you're the one just putting them to the side in front of you. Look at 40. Oh my God.
I was looking at me crazy. I didn't give a I'm like, baby, you invited me out. I'm gonna eat. And I was coming anyway. But I ain't gonna lie. No, I wouldn't have did all that. But I did do all that. It was so good. I was not expecting it to be that good.
So she basically made this guy look like he's the crazy one for looking at her crazy, for scarfing her gullet with 48 oysters. You know what I mean? She made him feel like she tried to make him feel like he was the crazy one. My man wins in the end, but that is, woman, you're disgusting. Holy crap. And she's like, you invited me out. It's like, yeah, for a drink, not to a buffet.
Oh my God. It was just so good. Like, I had to. It was so good.
She had to because it wasn't her money. That's why she had to. I'm telling you, if this woman had to pay for her own meals, she would not be eating at these restaurants. She'd be walking her ass to the liquor store, going to one of the aisles in the back, and finding herself a bag of ramen, and then having her card decline at the checkout.
So after that, I'm like, baby, what's next? What I'm about to eat? These potatoes, they were so good, and the crab cakes. Everything was.
This woman is.
Everything was.
Fat. Oh my God.
So good. 10, baby. Why the f this bitch ass nigga say he going to the bathroom and never come back?
See, that is the right move. That, my God, my guy. Jesus, he made the right decision.
I'm like, hold the fuck on. It's been like 10, 20, 30 minutes, bitch. What the fuck this nigga at? Had to end up grabbing a tab. Nigga left me with his little one drink. Yeah.
And you hear it. You hear it in her voice, how annoyed she got, how mad she got. This is probably still the toned down voice that she had, because this is her recording it after the fact. But I could only imagine the moment when the realization of your fool dipped out on you, and now you have to pay this hit, because like I said earlier, she just had to, because she wasn't the one going to be paying, which is why her big ass had to order 48 oysters, 4 orders of 12 of oysters, totaling 48. She ordered those potatoes. She ordered those crab cakes. She ordered all those drinks, because I'm pretty sure she had more than one martini or margarita, what the hell she's drinking. And she oh my God, I wish I heard that. The realization, knowing that she racked up that bill only for him to dip. And this fool, I mean, like I said, he did good, because that meant this guy, during this date, possibly after the second order of oysters, and then seeing the third one come in, was like, this broad is only going to use me for my money. You know what? That's a foodie call. This man's contact might as well just be emojis of foods, because that's it. That's all she treated him as, because that's the only way she saw him as. And this guy, after all that, he was just like, nah, go ahead, because I know what I'm about to do. And see, I like it. The only thing I would have done different personally, if that ever happened to me, was I would, as soon as I knew what I was gonna do, I would have just been like, all right, no, just keep ordering whatever you want, and order anything you want, anything. Because knowing her big ass and everything like that, not shaking her own self here and anything, she would have been like, oh baby, oh my God, let me just eat this tub of lard, you know. And then I just would have dipped, make that bill like $300, and I would just left. There goes your rent, girl.
I'm so glad you keep me some money, because what? That was crazy to me. And I said, you running out on the tab. He talking about, I'm offering you to drink. The fuck are you talking about?
I mean, he's right. He's like, he offered you to drink. He didn't say go and eat. He didn't say stuff your face and run up his wallet. Nuh-uh. So anyways, that's the first guy. And see, that's the whole thing. Because, like I said earlier, she left him. She didn't answer him for how long? or anything. And it's just like, I put that on the guy too. I was like, dude, have some self-respect. Where's your sense of self-worth? And it's just like, leave it. Leave it. You don't need somebody like that. Somebody who wants you for you will go where you want to go because they want to spend time with you, not because they want to see how much you make. And this is a testament to one of them. These came out recently. This is why a lot of people have been talking about it, and I kind of want to talk about it too, but it's just like, oh my God, this video annoyed the hell out of me. But happy ending. Happy ending. He was like, nah, here's money for my drinks. Everything else you pay. I knew she was mad about that. I knew it. All right. Well, that was the first video. I'm going to show you the second one real quick. Yeah.
Okay, almost there. Just need to find some parking.
So first to start it off is, if you love yourself and everything like that, cool. Self-confidence is a hell of a thing, amazing. And we want to take pictures and, just document it, fine. I don't know why. Well, maybe I do know why. But she, from the get-go, already strikes at this type of woman that is always glued onto her phone. Not only that, her camera is the most used app on her phone. Her camera. And if you do all that stuff, you're very likely the type of person that no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're going, no matter what time of day or night it is, you are always videotaping and filming and taking photos. And it's just like, dude, just put the camera down for a minute and talk to the person that you're with. Just do that. Second thing, her stupid little whoa face when she pulls out her glasses and looks above them and everything, and like, what the hell? It's like, what are you judging? What are you judging? Is this fool taking you to the hood? Is this fool taking you to some roach coach or something like that? I don't think so. Let's see what's up.
Nothing. I'm just talking to my girls.
That little Cheesecake Factory. And it's like, I always hate those whispers because it's just like, they're the type of whispers that it's not because you're trying to actively keep the other person from hearing you. You just say it loud enough just so the other person knows what you said. And you're like, oh, nothing. After that, it's just like so disingenuous. It's, oh, this woman's irritating me.
Right. Let me just get the door for you.
Okay.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
So she's too good for the Cheesecake Factory, huh? Let me tell you something. I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory in over 7 years. Because I know I haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory since a year prior to me even moving down here back in 2016. Despite it being that long, I would still tear up the Cheesecake Factory. Like, damn, if my lady came up to me and be like, babe, just got paid. I'm treating you to Cheesecake Factory. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. You too good for the Cheesecake Factory? This bitch. And she locked herself in the car. You saw that. She just reached over and locked the door. And she was like, I ain't getting out of this car. So now you're just going to take this man's ride hostage?
Would you want me to open the door for you? Look, you're recording me?
Not going to lie. No homo. This is not a bad looking dude. This guy. 5 o'clock shadow, cleaned up hair, just messy enough, So, like, You thinking you too good? Nuh-uh, lady. He rolls out of bed, looks like that. You have to spend like hours to look like that.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
So my man wasted no time. He wasted no time. Shit, she was like, this is a chain restaurant. Okay, and it's a restaurant that's not super cheap, somewhere in the mid price range. But it's a restaurant at a place that you don't even have to pay a single penny at. He's gonna pay everything. This man right here picked you up in his car. He's the one driving it with the gas that he paid for to a place that he got out of the car to open the door for you. This man already has all the chivalry and gentlemanly values. He's all so far displayed. It's been only like 2 minutes. You know damn well this man was going to pay for your meal, pay for your drinks, pay for everything. And who knows what else he had planned after this. This man was not going to let you reach for your wallet, and you still act like you're too good for him. This is like someone who looks like this. Woman, let me tell you, let me be honest. You don't look bad. Like, no one is going to be like, oh my God, no, please. But at the same time, it's like, from what I know, no one's breaking their necks to look at you. And the people who are typically only want to smash, and that's it. Nothing else. Not wifey material, nothing. Because they know that all they're going to be is a foodie call and another list on your another name on your roster. And it's just like, no, I'm good. And buy you some drinks. Hopefully this leads us to us smashing. And then that's it. That's it. Done. Nothing else.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
yes. Let's talk about it. About it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
So, by her own words, she's like, well, you take out a beautiful woman. All right, you know what? First of all, dial it back. Dial it back just a smidge, maybe like 5 notches. All right. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her. You're supposed to treat her, yada, yada, you know. He's been doing that. He's done it. He went to pick you up in his car. Who, by the way, has a sunroof. Looks really nice. Looks really nice. I like the interior. Way better than the cars I've ever owned. With his gas. Not only that, this fool got out of his car to go around and open the door for you. And then very likely put his hand out to assist you out of the car and take you to go eat at a place that you weren't going to be able to spend a penny at because he was going to treat you to all that. So he's doing all that. I'm sure this fool with as much chivalry as this fool has, he probably, very likely, has extra jackets, blankets in the trunk of his car. So if you're like, oh, I'm so cold, he will go back there and he will grab it. He will cover you and everything. He is doing that. That's not what she wants. She's saying all this stuff, but in reality, because he's already done it, From the very short video that we've seen so far, he's already done it. What she's telling him that he needs to do to court her. But what she thinks is courting versus what actually is courting are two totally different things. She's saying the right things, but she's not, but she doesn't believe it. Because in her eyes, courting means take her out to the most expensive places ever. And if that is a woman's goal, if that is a huge turnoff for a woman when you take her out to a date, like you can take her, if she thinks getting coffee or a drink is bad, if she thinks going somewhere like the Cheesecake Factory is bad, maybe even you plan a picnic and take her to the waterfront and look at a view, if she thinks that's bad as a first date, and she wants to go somewhere luxurious, she thinks she deserves fine dining at a 5-star restaurant with the A-listers and celebrities rub shoulders, she's not after you, bro. She doesn't want you. She wants your wallet. She wants to see how much you can spend and how much you're willing to splurge and then push the limits. So I'm saying it's very off-putting with this woman. So while she's explaining that she wants to get courted, he has been courting her. He has. What she really wants is an expensive dinner that she wouldn't go herself because she doesn't make that money.
I agree.
Not
I
at the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course.
You said pay for your food, of course. So yeah, he was planning on paying for her food, and she's still annoyed about it.
And just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty
and then-
nice, but I mean,
And then,
Cheesecake Factory.
There you go. There you go. There you go. See, I was right. I was right. I'm catching things I didn't catch initially. She was just like, he's explaining to her, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm going to pay for you. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm treating you well. And she goes, yeah, you've been pretty nice. But Cheesecake Factory? That tells you everything already. She doesn't care if you treat her nice. She doesn't care if you waste your gas or your time and your money on her. What she cares is what you get her, where you take her. She doesn't care about the emotional and the mental connection. She cares about what's in your wallet. She cares how much you can splurge on her. And right now, you're taking her to the Cheesecake Factory, which a place, like I said, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. And she's not happy. Because any dude can take any regular plain Jane to the Cheesecake Factory. But she feels like she's, I don't know, like what? Tyra Banks status? No. Not even 20s Tyra Banks, dude. And it's just like, relax. Just relax, dude. It's so ridiculous.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative. And at least, you know,
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
well, I mean, like, even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
okay,
I
yeah,
don't know
and
you
I can
yet.
respect that.
And see, I don't have an issue as to why she feels that's too early or anything. I do have an issue, though. Well, I do have an issue. Like, I also in agreement. Better said that way. I'm also in agreement, surprisingly, with her there. A woman putting her arm through the arm of the guy she's with, it is nice. It is good. It is, you know, just something that is very traditional, old school and stuff. It's nice. It's nice. It really is nice for the guy and the girl, even though it's so simple. The thing is, a lot of people associate that with two people who are currently romantically involved, when, you know, that's not always the case. I have dated women who put their arm around my arm while we're walking down the street, walking to the car, walking to a restaurant, anywhere we're going to. But I also put my arm and extended it when I help somebody cross the street and they put their arm around my arm just for an assistance, for this, for that. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be somewhere where you can give something to someone to hold on to, you know? And it's nice. It's just very, like I said, very old school. The problem, though, is with her saying it. And the reason I say that is because she said it right there. Well, it's a little bit too early for all that. Okay, it's a little too early for all that. That's how you feel. That's fine. But what you're expecting and telling actually is for things that are traditional for men to do, while also saying that something that's traditional for women to do is too early. You know what I mean? It's not too early to expect this man to take you to a fine dining 5-star restaurant with so many expensive options and plates and everything like that, that reservations alone probably put money down on a reservation and everything. And you're very likely going to get some wine, seeing the type of lady you look like. You look like a wine drinker. These aren't cheap things, but it's not too early to expect the man on the first date to drop a couple hundred, if not $1,000 on you on the first date for a meal alone. But it's too early for you to put your arm around his arm. That's too early. That's where you draw the line. That's asking too much. This woman.
I can respect that. Okay. When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
again.
I don't know there yet.
See, that part makes sense. It's like you don't know each other like that. She doesn't feel inviting you to inside her apartment is appropriate, or it's too soon. Then yeah, you know what? I'm fine waiting outside. I have my phone. I even talk to myself. I have my own thoughts, so I'm honestly never really bored.
Okay. And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made up.
There's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my planner, where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him. No.
More proof that she didn't care about you. She cared about where you were taking her and how much you were going to spend her. You saw right there where he was like, there's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, because it's true. There's nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory. It's very delicious. A lot of options. I'm going to keep gassing up Cheesecake Factory. And she goes, oh, there's plenty wrong. Won't list the reasons. She'll just say there's plenty wrong. But then as soon as he showed, this fool has a planner. This fool wrote down exactly what they were gonna do, where they were gonna go. He very likely has times written right next to each section to tell you how long, what time they were supposed to be there, how long it was gonna take, yada yada. He very likely had this whole evening planned for the both of them. But as soon as he showed her, this is where I was gonna take you. You saw her attitude in her face light up. Oh, see, ooh, that's where we're gonna go. That's where we're gonna go. That annoying tapping on the book, and then just be like, call him. Didn't even say, okay, can you call them to see if there's any way we could probably make another reservation or anything. She just goes, call him. She's looking for your wallet, bro. She doesn't care about you. And he goes, nope. Let's see why. She's shocked too. Look at her face. She's mad. She's mad that he told her no.
What do you mean no?
See, I specifically told you.
I told you. The smug face. The face of a person who's mad because they were never told no before. They're used to always getting in their way. And once they meet a man who's like, I didn't play those games, they don't know how to act.
Both yesterday and this morning, that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour. And so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment.
And see, that's where I personally feel like it's not a very good excuse. Because like we already saw, this man has a planner. And this guy, he said, we talked yesterday and this morning that 4 p.m. was going to be the agreed upon pickup time where I go to your house and you're ready. And then you come over and we go and do our thing, 4 p.m. So yeah, this is going to be an evening plans. And she goes, I know, but I wasn't expecting work to take that long or anything. That's when communication is key. Maybe she did tell him, maybe she didn't. She would have been like, listen, I have to stay a little bit later for work. I'm down. It's just, please, it's going to be a little later than usual. The thing is this. I don't know if a lot of women don't realize this, but a lot of dudes, at least the humble dudes, they don't care how you dress on the first day. You don't have to come in with a skin tight dress hugging every single curve and crevice in your body. You don't have to put cakes of makeup on. You don't have to put extensions or do your hair or straighten it, curl it up, whatever. You don't have to do any of that. You want to look nice? Shower, put on some nice jeans and a shirt. That's it. Literally, that's it. That's all you need to do. And men would still be happy, because if a man really wants to spend time with you and take you out, they do it because they want to spend time with you. That's it. That's all. It's like, what if this man just wanted to go watch a movie, and you're gonna get all dressed up for a movie? That's it. It's like, no, you don't have to do all that. That's the problem, which is why it's just I still gotta get ready, yada yada. It's like, you don't have to do all that. Men are very simple people. That's it. If it was going to be somewhere fancy, it would have been planned well in advance, and he would have been a lot more dressed up than what he is now. He doesn't look bad, but it would have been a little more dressed up.
And that is not possible.
And that's why I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice fancy restaurant as Aria, especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been, but if we're late, I told you twice.
Late. It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time that the reservation was supposed to be.
That's the attitude of somebody who likes downplaying their faults, but amplifying the faults of others. This guy said earlier, you were an hour late. Yeah, an hour late is pretty unacceptable unless, I don't know, you guys get to a point in the relationship where, hey, this doesn't happen all the time, and I still want to look forward to you, so that's fine. He said, you were an hour late. This man is a man of organization and timing and planning, because he has a planner, of course. He just said right now, she goes, I wasn't really that late. He's like, yeah, you were late because by the time you came downstairs was the time the reservation was at. That was an hour. He gave you an hour window. He gave both of you an hour window. Picked you up an hour prior to the reservation, travel there, have this whole plan, and get there by the reservation time. And this chick took an hour and tried to play it like it's not a big deal. Which means she probably did this to a lot of other people, and that's messed up.
And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot. Waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, the equivalent to that?
I literally
you don't understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong with
I will die.
That is when a woman's ego is too big. Her head is way too big. That always makes me happy when dudes just bring him down a peg or two. Because you have this ego-inflated, self-centered broad right here. And she goes, is there anywhere else equivalent to that you can call? She wants you to spend your check on her. Maybe multiple paychecks on her. She doesn't care. It's too early to hold your arm. But it's not too early for you to blow stacks on this chick, And she goes, I can't go to the Cheesecake Factory. Look at me. Look at what? Look at what? You know how many people go dressed up to the Cheesecake Factory? No one thinks it's weird. Who knows where they're coming from? A big-ass meeting. Maybe an event. Maybe they just been dressed up and they just wanted to go eat cheesecake. Damn, I want some Cheesecake Factory now. There's one by my... I don't know, maybe. Well, God, cheesecake looks so good. Well, yeah. So there's that ego talking. There's that self-centeredness talking and everything. And it's just like, honestly, bro, it's just like, you have more patience than me. He's like, I can't go there. I'm like, listen, this is our first date. We haven't even gone to sit down at our table yet. And this is how you're acting? Nah, I'm good. I know everything I need to know about you. Everything. You know, or just turn right back. Go. Leave. Bye. That's it. The Cheesecake Factory ain't gonna roll out a red carpet for you, dude. Chill out.
That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific...
It's embarrassing. Who's gonna see you at the Cheesecake Factory? Did you have your friends stalking you? You know? And if your friends are judging a person who's paying everything for you, by the way, on where they take you, then those aren't good friends. That means you and your friends are just super ego inflated. And it's just like, maybe you guys belong together, you know? But Jesus Christ, smoke this. Oy.
Expectations for that. I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
Isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
He just pulled
but
out of the parking space.
If I don't feel
Can you
respected,
see?
I am not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, I mean, you are serious. You're really leaving.
There you go. There you go. There's the dude right there. Hell yeah. This man was just like, you know what? I don't see this going any further. So I'm just going to take you home. Dude, he didn't even have to do that. This guy is just like, oh my God. He could have been like, you know what? I don't see us going anywhere. I'm not going through the rest of the day. I'm not being respected. So this is where we call it a day. All right, well, get out of my car. There's some buses that go your way, or get a cab, whatever. And just, he would have dipped, because if she stayed in his car, he would have just called the police. The police would have had to be there, and then they would have forced her out if she refused to get out of the car or whatever, because she thinks she's a queen. She thinks she's a princess or whatever. And oh my God, good for this man. Good for this dude right here. Oh my God, this guy is a freaking G, has his self-worth and self-respect. And you notice all this thing? While she was just going like, oh, Cheesecake Factory, it's embarrassing. See, you know, he was just like, listen, this is what I wanted us to do. I had the whole evening planned. You came down late, which is why this is the alternative. We can't do anything else. I still want to take you out. I still want to pay for you. I still want to have a good time with you. Yada, yada. She's like, yeah, but it's embarrassing. Cheesecake Factory. He was like, you know what? You're right. This isn't going to work. I'm just going to take you home. This man was a gentleman all the way through this entire interaction. And she still has the audacity to think that this man is being irrational. Not only that, her face is priceless. He started pulling out from the parking spot and taking her ass back home. And she could not believe it. She was flabbergasted. She couldn't grasp the situation that was displayed in front of her. Because like I said, this woman is the type of woman who is used to men just falling to her feet, drooling all over her. And this man was just like, I would love to take you out. You know what? You're not the woman for me. I'm taking you home. Goodbye. And that's it. And she could not believe that she was told no. She was denied free dinner. Now she's going to have to go home, take out her pop, fill it up with boil water inside that, and then just eat her $1 top ramen. That's it. That's it. That's all she can do now. This guy... amazing dude. Love this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that.
There. I didn't even see this part. You saw that. Her eyes are hella watery now. She's holding back. I understand that I was late. He told her, he was like, look, what's the problem? You didn't want this place anyways, right? I'm just taking you home. See, I understand. She is holding back tears because now he put his foot down on the first date. This is probably the first man in her life who's ever done this. Put his foot down, and she can't take it. She is realizing that she is dealing with a man right now. She is dealing with a man who is not playing these childish games. He's not simping over you. He's taking you home. And that's it. While keeping his composure, whilst keeping his ego in check, while still treating you like a gentleman. And I bet 100%, I bet this fool dropped you off at home and did not ask you to reimburse him for gas, even though he, honestly, who can blame him? But she's trying to save it now. She is not used to being told no. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
so
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
He still apologizes, but he made it known. I put out my requirements, I put out my standards, and you broke every single one. She is being told for the first time that she was the problem, why this didn't go through. And you brought up some good points. We can still compromise. Oh my God, what a good video.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. Well, I'm sorry. I understand where you're coming from.
Silence. That video ended in silence because this guy, he said his piece. That's it. It's a silent ride all the way home. And I bet when you got out of the car, he'd be like, get home safe. Take care. And then left. That's it. Boom. What a G. What a freaking man that man is, dude. I'm sorry, but this video got me. I didn't even see that in. That's why I'm acting the way I am. And this thing, it ended with her apologizing. She's going to go into that house. She's going to kick off her heels. She's going to make a video probably. I don't know. Maybe not. But she's going to talk to her friends. Be like, girl, what? She took me to the Cheesecake Factory. And then this man, we talked about it. And not once did he call me a bitch. And he just took me home. And then I'm at home now. And it's just like, dude. And then meanwhile, you're wearing your slippers, wearing your sweats. And then now you're like microwaving your styrofoam cup because you're too dumb to realize the instructions on the lid of these top ramen noodle cups tell you don't microwave your cup, but you're still doing it because you're lazy. Oh my God, amazing. Well, everybody, that was literally the only, well, there was one more video, but I'm looking at time. This is long enough already. And like, this is going to take me forever to edit. But yeah. No, there's another video that I want to show you, but I think I'll just show it to you next time. So today, this episode, the day of justice, the day of the men win. The men win. Well, anyways, guys, thank you very much for joining me. No, I'm not joining the red pill community. I'm not doing any of that because I realize, you know what? Let me say a couple of things real quick before I leave. I realize that this is not all women. I know this because I've experienced how women truly can be when they really, really, really are interested in you. When they really want to go out with you because they want to be with you, not because they want to see what you can do and what you can provide for them or what you can spoil them with each and every day. And the fact that they want to see if you will ever tell them no. Have they all been winners, the people I've gone out with? Of course not. Course not. Some of them started out great but ended in disaster. But I will tell you this, a couple of my experiences. When you know that somebody who you're interested in, who you're trying to court, also reciprocates those feelings for you, they don't care where you take them. First date with this chick straight out of high school. Well, not straight out of high school. Maybe like like 3 or 4 months after high school. Yeah. Our first date was literally going to a Round Table Pizza. I paid for the pizza. Then we went to the Pier 39. Her mom chaperoned, of course. But I paid for everything because I wanted to. Like I said, that's how I was raised. It wasn't the most extravagant, luxurious, just downright, incredible date in the world. But it didn't matter to either one of us. Oh, God damn it. Sorry, something under my toe. It didn't matter to either one of us because the date wasn't about where I would take her and how much money I would spend on her. The date was about us spending time together. That's what it was. And it was still one of the most memorable dates to this day. There was an issue about money, but believe it or not, that was her mother. Although her mother was pretty messed up anyways. Her mother did not like me. Did not like me for 2 reasons. One, because she said I wasn't rich. I was an 18-year-old kid. What do you think? What'd you expect? You think I was born in a millionaire family? No. She said I wasn't rich. That was one reason. And 2, because I was Guatemalan. I guess she believed Mexicans were superior. So she hated me. She disliked me because I'm Guatemalan. And that was it. Those are the only reasons her mother didn't like me. Her dad loved me. Her sister loved me. Her mom, those are the only issues with me. And thus, she did not want her daughter with me. But, whatever. We still went out for a while. Another date after that. Girl I met at work and everything. A couple years older than I was at that time. I was 20. She was like 25, 26. Our first date. It wasn't even an official first date, but then looking back at it, it was official, even though we didn't consider it a date at first. Literally, my whole plan was, because she got out an hour prior to me, my whole plan was, when I got off of work, we'll just go in our work uniforms to go eat somewhere in the area, because we worked in downtown at the time. And that was it. No, what I realized when I got off work, because she got off of work an hour before, was she lived kind of far away, too far away to go drive over there, change up, and come back. So what she do? She went to H&M. That was just like 2-3 blocks away from our old place of work, and she bought herself an entire new outfit, bought herself new makeup, bought herself everything, just so we can go out. And it was just like, I'm taking you to the Rainforest Cafe, right? It's like, I'm not taking you to a steakhouse. I'm not taking you to like a somewhat very fancy place of dining. No, I'm taking you to the Rainforest Cafe with animal animatronics, fake thunderstorms, a makeshift waterfall, and just, toys and jungle themed food. That's it. But we went. And when we went, we had a great time. Yeah, the Rainforest Cafe isn't super cheap, but it isn't like, rape your wallet expensive. And we still enjoyed our time. That relationship lasted for 2 years. This person I moved down here with, it ended in disaster. But initially, it was amazing. Amazing. I've dated a couple of other people when I moved down here and everything like that. And even though those were just on and offs and everything like that, the first date never, ever went to me spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for them. No, never. And to this day, and this is going to be the most intimate one that I've ever experienced, is with my lady nowadays. My lady and I worked in the same spot when I was getting out of a really bad point of my life. And one day I decided to download this Latin dating app that kept being advertised on Facebook. And that's where we met. We both swiped right on each other on the same night, and we both matched with each other, found out we worked together and everything. Turns out she had a crush on me when I started working there before I even knew she really existed. Like, I knew she was there and I thought she was cute, but I just never talked to her. I had no reason to talk to her. But turns out she had a crush on me this entire time. That entire time. Well, once we found out we had a Wednesdays off together and everything, we made plans for the following Wednesday. We're like, hey, do you want to go out? It's like, do you want to go somewhere and everything? She's like, yeah. around that time, Venom, the movie, the one with Tom Hardy, the very first one, was out. I wanted to go see that, so I hit her up and I was like, hey, listen, when we go out on Wednesday, do you mind us going to go see a movie? I want to go see Venom, yada yada. And we're like, yeah, sure. She was like, yeah, that'd be great. What I didn't tell her, I mean, I told her this well after we've been established as a thing and everything, was because I was struggling a lot with trying to get back to the state that I was in prior to a lot of bad stuff. Financially wise, I was still struggling. At that point, that week, I had gotten paid, but my pay went immediately towards making up rent and bills, etc., etc. And yeah, so which left me for the next 2 weeks about $120. I spent $30 on both of our tickets, and I knew movie theater concession stand foods were way too overpriced. So I told her, I was like, hey, listen, I kind of don't want to spend money for concession stand food. Do you mind if we just go to CVS and get some snacks there and we'll just sneak them in? And she was like, yeah, let's do that. We bought 2 big bags of chips, 2 tubs of dip, 2 large drinks, and we snuck him into the theater. And I spent like $8 and all that. And we sat there, started eating them before Venom started, and we enjoyed each other's company. I didn't take her out to dinner after that. I didn't take her anywhere else that I had to spend money in. And I was just hoping the whole time she wasn't expecting me to buy more things, you know, because I just downright couldn't afford it. At that point, I probably had like $75-$80 left in my wallet for 2 weeks. You know, I needed it to survive. And no, instead she took me right back to her place, introduced me to her mother. Her mother, the first time ever seeing me, hugged me and everything, which I still remember that night. Met her stepdad, met her sisters, met her dog, and just like, you know, it was amazing. It was amazing. And yeah, I spent a total of $40 on us that night. $40 on our first date. Here we are 5 years later in our apartment with all our cats, just in disbelief how that one day was able to mold everything we have nowadays. 5 years together. And all we did was to go see Venom and eat chips and dip that we got from the CVS, you know? And it's just like when, you know, in the video where it says an hour, like he had to wait an hour for the first date. My woman, I think on our third date, I took her to this one place and she was like, I'll meet you there. I'm an Uber there, yada, yada. She was also an hour late. But because we already had that connection, we were already on the same wavelength, on the same vibe and everything like that, I didn't care. I was like, that's fine. That's fine. It was like an hour was passing by until she finally showed up. First thing I do, yeah, I was drunk. First thing I do is like excitedly wave hi to her. I'm like, oh, over here. And she sits down. We just drink and we eat and we have a great time. Amazing time. Incredible time. And that is one of the many different ways when you find out that when you go out with somebody on the first date, that's how you know that they want to spend time with you as well. Because if they want anything more and they look at you as unreasonable and cheap and broke because you're not just throwing down hundreds, thousands of dollars on them on the first date, and they think that me holding your arm is a little too early, they just want what's in your wallet. They don't care about you. Like, you can literally be Hugh Hefner and they'll still be after you because they know you got money, and that's it. All right, now I'm really done. I went on a little thing there. All right, guys. Well, I promise I'll be back to reporting different news and everything like that. My buddy and I were playing Elite Dangerous, and that's a fun game. I got to get Hotas, throttle and the stick and everything. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very, very much for joining me today on this episode of the Mind of Mando. I have been your host, Armando Ortega, and look both ways before you cross the street. You know what? Do that. First dates, take your date to the Cheesecake Factory, because I think that's a thing that's going to be universal now. Take her to the Cheesecake Factory. She acts stingy, drop her. That's it. chopper. But all right, guys. I know I've been saying bye like 5 times already. I'll say bye again. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care of yourself. Look both ways before across the street. And yeah, take it easy. Peace.